show you the screen. Okay. Well, and as I remember, the last session we discussed the planet and problems, issues, environmental problems, and we studied up to structure, so grammatical structure, that was comparatives. So we started this one, and we only left the listening section. I remember. What? Right. Why are you looking at me this? What is it? This is not a new one. Actually, this is the lesson that we started before. So it's okay. It was like, what is this? Oh, just nothing. It's like, the lesson that we started before. We talked about environmental problems, issues, and now, of course, before we listen to the audio track, let's talk about this picture. So as you can see, it's like comparison between past and present. So what happened to the earth during years? So for example, look at this one, beach 2009 and 2019. So what can you see here? What is the difference if you want to compare? How you can compare?
Now have more trash than 2019 have more trash than 2000.
More, yeah, you want to say more polluted. So the beaches are more polluted, okay, than past. Yeah, of course. So they are more polluted. And about the second one, for example,
2009 have more tree than now.
yeah, it's like, less. So of course, less green spaces. So as you can see, less green spaces comparing. And how about this one, icebergs? And so as you can see, of course, we can see that,
hotter than.
Yeah, of course, hotter than, of course, it's extremely hot. Yeah, of course. And you know that the number of animals, yeah.
They do something with this. Really? It's true. Maybe they do something.
Without fur, really? Yeah, it definitely look like another animal, not polar bear. It's like definitely different. Oh, per animal. So I think, yeah.
Less food than. Maybe less food than.
Yeah, we can say, yeah, of course, we can say they are in danger of extinction. So we have less, a few number of them. So for example, yeah, of course, the number of, like, especially like, for example, some special types, of course, they are becoming extinct. So of course, we won't have them anymore. So of course, less, maybe. Well, and now, so they can have less habitat, or for example, less food. And for example, we can say that the condition for different species, like for example, polar bear is getting worse than before. So bad, worse. Do you remember? So we can use this way. Do you agree?
Yes.
Of course, it's your turn to talk. So just try to make after long break. Wow. So it's time to speak. Wow. Okay. Let's listen. Listen to the radio and decide whether the statements are true or false. It's radio or audio, so let's see. What is that? Okay. So one moment to share the sound. Okay. Well.
Unit 9. Nature. Recording 1. Welcome to Save the Planet, where we talk about the world's environmental problems. Now, did you know there are more than 6 billion people on the planet? And by 2050, there might be more than 9 billion. People are living longer and healthier lives than ever before. But a big population means big problems for the planet. Let's look at 3 of the most important problems. The first problem is water. Many people in the world can't get enough water. But in some countries, we use too much. A person in Gambia, Africa, for example, uses much less water than someone in the United States. In Gambia, one person uses 4.5 litres of water a day. But in the US, it's 600 litres. And to make the problem worse, the deserts are getting bigger. The Sahara Desert is one of the hottest places in the world and is already the largest desert. But each year it gets bigger than before, so it gets more difficult to find clean water. Our second problem is the animals. There are more people on the earth than ever before. This means we use more space. And for the animals, this means that there is less space than before. One example is the Amazon rainforest. It has the highest number of plant and animal species in the world, but it's getting smaller every year. People are destroying the rainforest to make more space for houses, roads, and farms. In the last 10 years, we have destroyed more than 150,000 square kilometers of forest. That's an area larger than Greece. So in the future, many plants and animal species will become extinct. And the last problem on our list, but not the least important, is the weather. The world is getting warmer. The ice in Greenland is melting faster than ever before, and on Mount Everest there is less snow every year. Also, sea levels are rising. This means that soon, some of the world's most important cities, like New York, London, Bangkok, Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro, might all be underwater.
Oh. Well, so by 2050, there might be more than 15 billion people.
6 billion. Oh.
Why I heard 9 billion?
6 or 9, I don't know. But 4.
9. Yeah, of course it falls. At least it falls. Of course.
I don't remember.
Oh, good. And in Gambia, Africa, one person uses 4.5 liters of water.
True.
Of course. How about the US?
6 liters.
Or 6 liters. Yeah, of course. And the desert are getting smaller. Of course, false. Yeah, they're getting bigger. So of course, yeah. And people destroy the rainforest to make more space for business, roads, and farms.
True.
Oh, really true?
But destroys rainforest.
I'm not sure about this one. How about number 5, Mount Everest?
Yeah, less now.
Of course. And some of the world's most important cities might be underwater.
True.
Of course, true. Just about number 4, let me check something because I'm not sure about this one.
This means we use more space. And for the animals, this means already the largest desert. But each year it gets bigger than before, so it gets more difficult to find clean water. Our second problem is the animals. There are more people on the earth than ever before. This means we use more space. And for the animals, This means that there is less.
So not because we destroy rainforest, because there are more people than before. So of course that is maybe there less place for animals. So there is no space for animals because, you know, the number of people or human population, of course, is increasing sharply. So because of this, there won't be enough space for animals in the future. So false. Okay, and okay, so let me ask you a question. Just think about it. You need to answer. Okay, why does he says that a big population means big problems for our planet? So why really, according to the audio? Do you want to listen again? If you need it, you can listen again.
I don't remember what he said.
Okay, so let's listen again. Just don't forget about making notes. It's important. Okay, so let's see what actually what he said.
Unit
Let's
9.
see.
Nature. Recording 1.
Welcome to Save the Planet, where we talk about the world's environmental problems. Now, did you know there are more than 6 billion people on the planet? And by 2050, there might be more than 9 billion. People are living longer and healthier lives than ever before. But a big population means big problems for the planet. Let's look at 3 of the most important problems. The first problem is water. Many people in the world can't get enough water. But in some countries, we use too much. A person in Gambia, Africa, for example, uses much less water than someone in the United States. In Gambia, one person uses 4.5 litres of water a day. But in the US, it's 600 litres. And to make the problem worse, the deserts are getting bigger. The Sahara Desert is one of the hottest places in the world and is already the largest desert. But each year it gets bigger than before, so it gets more difficult to find clean water. Our second problem is the animals. There are more people on the earth than ever before. This means we use more space. And for the animals, this means that there is less space than before. One example is the Amazon rainforest. It has the highest number of plant and animal species in the world, but it's getting smaller every year. People are destroying the rainforest to make more space for houses, roads, and farms. In the last 10 years, we have destroyed more than 150,000 square kilometers of forest. That's an area larger than Greece. So in the future, many plants and animal species will become extinct. And the last problem on our list, but not the least important, is the weather. The world is getting warmer. The ice in Greenland is melting faster than ever before, and on Mount Everest there is less snow every year. Also, sea levels are rising. This means that soon, some of the world's most important cities, like New York, London, Bangkok, Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro, might all be underwater.
Well, so according to the audience, of course, human is maybe the first issue. So yeah, of course. And why? Because of 3 reasons. The first one,
Water.
so water, of course, we consume water, so there won't be enough potable water for the other actually creatures like animals, and of course for the people all around the world. And so because there is no balance, so as we heard, just in some countries like the US, people consume more, and for example in Africa, people less. And the second one
Is animal. No space.
of course, yeah, lack of
Less space.
of course, so lack of
Space.
natural habitat. So the place that they can live, space, the place that they can live. So because the number of people who live on the planet is increasing, and of course, so as a result, there won't be enough space for the other creatures or animals to live on the Earth. And the third one,
The weather. The
of
weather.
course, global warming. Yeah, the Earth is getting warm and warm every day. So maybe in the future, some areas will be on the water. So because icebergs in North and South Pole are melting. So we will have more water, of course, not potable water, because this kind of water is not drinkable, it's not potable. So another reason. Okay. Well, and now, so tell me about, just let me ask another question. What are the consequences of global warming, you think?
Try, teacher.
It's too hot to live on the Earth. So it's like, yeah, really, what are the results, consequences of global warming if, this way? We know that the Earth is getting warm and warmer every day. So what will happen in the future this way? If we continue.
What we can do? Really, I don't know.
So of course, yeah, really try to use the words they use. I want you to talk. I want you to talk. So try to use the words. So really what will happen if we can't do anything to actually maybe protect, to save our planet from warming? So what will happen?
Will happen. Maybe the Earth will hotter, and some city will under the water.
Of course. Of course.
Bangkok.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah. So some, of course, the first one, so as we said, so some, we can say maybe a lot of natural habitats will destroy, will vanish, So what will happen? So when everywhere, so for example, a lot of maybe forest or for example, green spaces turns to desert, what will happen? Of course, the animals and creatures that live in that area won't be able to live anymore. So the animals will become extinct. Do you agree? Yeah. We are destroying everything. We
No
are
space. Less space.
of course, less space, of course. So they won't be able to live on the earth because you know that we have different types of animals. So let me talk about something that is animal classification. So do you know anything about animals classification? Okay. So the first one, you know that we have fish. So first, and we have mammals. And of course, birds.
Mammal, what does it mean, teacher?
I will explain one by one. Let me write all of them. And we have reptiles and amphibians. So let's talk about these actually types, category, different. So first of all, let's talk about mammals. Animals that, like for example, cow, horse, lion, they give birth to their actually babies and they produce milk. They are called mammals. So they, yeah, of course, they produce milks and they give birth like human. So mammals like cow, like horse, like lion, okay? So they're called mammals. Get it? Yeah? Okay. Well, and yeah. So, if it's not clear, I can explain again. So it's clear.
Ambience.
So amphibians, yeah, of course. Now, let's talk about reptiles and amphibians. So first of all, reptile. Actually, we can say this group are cold-blooded. So first of all, they are cold-blooded animals. So like snake, okay? But they live on the ground, like air breathing. So you need to like lizard, like for example alligators, like turtles, okay? So they live on the ground, not the water, and they lay eggs. They lay eggs. So they're called reptiles. And normally their bodies actually are covered with scales like fish, but scales. So crocodile, snake, or for example lizard. So that they have different skin. So this is about reptiles and amphibians. So amphibian, for example, I can give you a good example, that is frog. Okay, and what is this? For example, this type, okay, can live on the ground and on the water, so both. Okay, so amphibians can live on the ground and on the water. Okay, for example, because their organism is such an organism that actually is able to live. So they can, they can absorb, they can get oxygen on their water through their skin. So they don't have nose, like frog. Okay? So, yeah, of course. But actually the difference between fishes and reptiles, so that I'm sorry, so I said amphibians. So the difference between fishes and amphibians, that fish can't live on the ground, or on the land, but amphibians can. So amphibians both, and they normally take oxygen, their oxygen, through their skin on their water. So this is about amphibians. Okay, and fish is fish, birds. So amphibians lay eggs like reptiles, and mammals warm-blooded like cow, and they give birth. They don't lay egg. They give birth, okay? And birds, again, so normally birds, that their bodies are covered with feathers. About reptiles, so that, as I told you, covered their bodies, yeah, scales, like fish. So reptile and fish, what I'm talking about, their skin. So, but amphibians, like, frog, they have a really, it's thin skin. So they can absorb oxygen through the skin. So like this. Well, so this is all about animals classification. So if you have any questions, now you can ask. Did you get, or you have any questions?
Amphibians.
Amphibians, of course. Of course. So amphibians, so let me write. So amphibians, any organism that is able to live on land and in water. So these amphibians, like frogs. Well, so as you can guess, we're going to talk about animals and wildlife. So, of course, tomorrow we will discuss this topic in details, and because it's actually like, for example, important topic. Of course, this is something related to our previous topic, the rest of it, and we need to talk about it. So about wildlife and justice. So any questions, any issues related to this word?
Teacher.
Wow, so thank you. It was really good time with you, and have a great night.
See you tomorrow.
Sweet dreams, and see you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Goodbye.